They shot down your dreams, and now you need your face scanned. What the fall of passport power and biometric borders means for your freedom. You know, it all started with a lie. Just 2 weeks to slow the spread. Digital passes are temporary. Travel will bounce back soon. Well, guess what? It's 2025. And not only has travel not returned to normal, it has shifted into something else entirely. Something digitized, invasive, and unequal. First, they block your visa hopes. Now you're being asked to scan your face, give your fingerprints, and declare your gender just to cross a border. So what used to be a simple stamp has now become a surveillance contract. And for Americans, quite frankly, it's even worse. The US passport is no longer a golden ticket to anywhere you want in the world. It has become a red flag. We went from freedom to facial recognition. Listen, you know, if you've been watching this channel, this fall, October 12th, 2025, the European Union will fully launch its EES, Entry Exit System, a centralized biometric tracking protocol that logs every single non-EU traveler who enters or leaves the Schengen area. Say goodbye to passport stamps and instead say hello to facial scans, fingerprint collection, automated questioning, and 3-year data retention. And this is just for tourists. And for those seeking residency, dual citizenship, or a long-term visa, expect healthcare database syncing, financial screenings, and even political activity logs tracing things that you're doing on social media, things that you talk about, especially if you're any type of entrepreneur, creative, writer, or someone that has free thought. You know, I can't help but feel like this is not about border control. This is about behavior control. And listen, you saw the thumbnail. You know exactly what I think of this. And I want to speak to you in very clear but poetic terms. I'm careful with my language because we are coming into a time where if we want to talk to each other like we are right now, then we're going to have to communicate effectively through parables, if you understand what I'm saying. And notice this, the American passport simultaneously when all this is going on has lost its power. For decades, the US passport was one of the most respected in the entire world. In 2014, it ranked #1 globally. But now in 2025, about 11 years later, we're going into 12 years later, it has fallen out of the top 10 spot. Why? Well, Canada now requires registration for Americans staying over 30 days. Australia warns travelers that U.S. border agents may search phones or deny entry without cause. Belgium, France, Germany, and Finland now advise their travelers to avoid certain U.S. states. And China has officially labeled the U.S. a rising risk for international business travel. It's not just about perception. This is about international policy. And travelers from the US are now experiencing what the global South has faced for decades. Higher fees, harsher scrutiny, and biometric compliance. It's as if America is currently already a third world country in the making. I'm gonna need you to hit the like button on this video. I'm gonna give you a few seconds to do it. I just honestly feel like you should like this video and appreciate this content because out of all the traveling expats and folks that you see online, I just don't see anyone talking about what matters. And this matters a lot, especially if you're a believer from anywhere on earth. I'm talking to everyone on the face of the earth, wherever this video reaches. We need to be aware of these things, okay? We need to put on a level of strength and sobriety to be able to face these things and articulate it head on so that you know which areas that you will want to move to or travel to in the future, which are probably going to be in the global South. Because check this, in sub-Saharan Africa, especially if you're not in countries like a South Africa, or a Kenya, the vast majority of African people don't even have smartphones. And so you're seeing how this system is going to be slowed down in reaching the continent entirely. But that does not mean that America and Germany and France and Belgium and Japan are just going to stop altogether. Instead, what it means is they're going to speed it up, and it's going to function mostly in the Western world, okay? And this is why I'm so adamant about telling you about Africa. Man, I was called from such a young age to go to the continent, and I heeded the call with my husband with no delays. Like, we just heard it. We got to do it, because at the end of the day, this prophetic movement is going to end up saving people's souls. This is going to end up saving generations. This is going to end up helping people be regular humans again, because I am of the extreme belief that humanity in the West is not really the way that humanity should function. And again, if you've been on this channel for any length of time, you know that I like to look at the patterns. So they're not tracking you for safety, they're tracking you for submission. And let's connect these dots real quick. 2020 was the lockdown era. 2021, we started to see health passports and making sure you had certain things that complied with certain things that were happening back then. 2022, you saw a lot more QR scanning. 2023 and 2024, you saw real ID mandates. 2024 also, you saw digital border walls, and now 2025 we have the biometric EES systems and everything that has gone into shifting this administration's policy and politics, okay, which is a lot of stuff that I don't even have time to mention on this video. And I want to ask you just one simple question: do you think this really ends with convenience? The answer should be no. It ends with compliance. And every face scan logged is a behavioral data point. Every denied entry is an algorithmic judgment. And every little lie used to justify these changes is just a trial run for something much bigger. Let's also take into consideration the $250 Visa integrity fee and the rise of financial firewalls. And another alarming trend, visitors to the USA from select countries must now pay a $250 prepay Visa integrity fee, and it's spreading. European lawmakers are exploring similar fees. Japan lawmakers are actually booting thousands of people on student visas. And even for Americans, particularly if you are a traveler and you cannot show proof of biometric clearance, you don't meet Real ID standards, or you hold a lower trust passport and you have dual citizenship, then the US is now in that category for some of these zones. And, you know, this is crazy to say in 2025, coming out of my mouth as an American. It's just, this system has totally flipped into something that we don't even recognize anymore. Pay more, wait longer, and risk denial is the new theme of travel if you are traveling in the West. Travel is no longer a right either. It's a privilege earned through compliance. This is where the lie cuts the deepest. This is where you were told the restrictions were temporary. You were promised it would all go back to normal, but now they don't want you to move freely. Oh no, they want you scanned, tracked, and pre-approved before you even touch a boarding pass. So you're like, girl, what am I supposed to do now? Well, I don't want you to panic, okay? I want you to stay peaceful, sober-minded, take a deep breath. It's okay, because we got a strategy for you. Number one, I want you to rethink your passport strategy. I want you to forward think and say, okay, I want to find neutral areas that are also in the global south where I wouldn't mind living there and having their passport, okay? This could be a Mauritius, this could be somewhere like Kenya, Albania, the Caribbean, Rwanda, you know, it could be anywhere. And also it's based on your ancestry as well, because some countries in the world allow you to get a second passport based on your ancestry, depending on who you are. Then you want to travel where you feel the safest in the global south. I want you to avoid hubs that force biometric compliance and look into visa-free nations for your passport if you are an American. Don't voluntarily give up too much data, okay? Don't unnecessarily download all of these apps, facial recognition gates, and pre-travel screenings that go beyond visas. You want to pay attention to the countries that allow you to just be a regular human with your regular passport, okay? And build systems. This includes offline payment options, having a system for your crypto, having a system for your stocks, having a system for your business, because you know we've been telling you guys, you need to be an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for going on 10 years this April, and I'm so glad that I did it. Yes, it's gonna take pivoting and adjusting and discerning the times and learning economics, but you got this. I believe you can do it. And I have blogs on my website, like over 400 blogs, literally sitting waiting for you if you need free information before you start. Head to www.tiffygwrites.co and start getting your freelance consulting side hustle going, and then it'll become your main hustle that opens doors in countries like Mauritius, Africa, or anywhere else you want to go in the world that has favorable visas and residency programs for your type of business. And remember, we have a variety of intensives and programs. We have one that has one slot available coming up September 1st, which is the Mature Adult Intensive for those that are ready to take their coaching and consulting seriously to retire or do a pre-sabbatical abroad. You're tired of working, you're tired of hustling, you're trying to figure out this travel thing and relocation by yourself. And to be quite honest, you're just burned out. You need a second set of eyes on your plan. We will be that set of eyes. Check out the link in the description to read the full enrollment guide. Whew. Now, I just want to let you know, you do not have to be crazily stressed out, but you do have to plan and strategize. Remember Revelations 13:16. He calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark. The infrastructure is already here. Scanning gates, digital tokens, permission-based movement. The control system is not coming. It's already operational. Shalom, shalom. I'll see you in the next video.